Oklahoma, Mr. Hern.
I'd like to thank the ranking member and my dear friend from South Carolina for having this meeting today. And today I want to talk about this idea that the corporate tax receipts have declined by some 40% after the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. You know, frankly, it's exhausting. I've only been in Congress for about 2.5 years, but listening to the Democrats lie over and over again and spreading these falsehoods about our effective policies, and quite frankly, the media just lets them get away with it. I think it's important to hold them accountable for the lies they're spreading, which is why I'm talking about this falsehood today. And let's debunk that claim for good. In the 2 years following the Republican tax reform, federal tax revenues soared to record levels. That wasn't surprising. We knew this would be the result of pro-growth policies. After TCJA, our economy was strong, wages were up, and unemployment was at all-time lows. It's a fact, when workers earn more money and American businesses are allowed to succeed, the Treasury collects more revenue. That's how our economy works. In comparison, the Democrats' dangerous tax hikes are really just economic surrender. The CBO forecasted that corporate tax receipts would total $238 billion in 2021, higher than the final year of the Obama-Biden administration. Actual corporate tax receipts are already higher than the CBO forecast, $285 billion as of August 31st. We are on the track for the highest amount of corporate tax paid in a decade. CBO also forecasts that corporate receipts under Republican tax reform will reach a record high of $379 billion in 2023. Republican tax reforms modernize the U.S. tax system, resulting in stronger economic growth, more jobs, and higher wages. We put an end to corporate inversion. Let me repeat, put an end to corporate inversion. 0 companies moved overseas since we fixed the tax code. The Treasury says that corporate tax revenues have fallen dramatically from 2% of GDP in the years before the TCJA to 1% in the years since the enactment of TCJA. The fact is, corporate income tax payments as a percentage of corporate income are higher in the U.S. than the OECD average. This is because the U.S., unlike most OECD countries, most businesses' income is earned by pass-throughs. Relying on this inappropriate comparison of corporate taxes to GDP, the Democrats are proposing to increase corporate taxes to a level disproportionate to the amount of corporate income in the United States economy. The Democrats' tax plan will return us to the days when it was financially beneficial to be a foreign company or a foreign worker rather than being an American one. This myth in the Democrats and TCJA decreased corporate tax receipts is dangerous given the fact that 1.4 million small businesses in the United States are officially recognized as C corporation. These small businesses employ almost 13 million Americans, and over 84% of C corps have fewer than 20 employees. A higher corporate tax rate will reduce after-tax income, making it more difficult for these small businesses to finance their investments with retained earnings, hindering their growth. Think about it. Every business in America, Amazon, Apple, Nike, whatever you think of all of them, started out as small business in someone's garage or college dorm. Every single successful American company started out with 1 or 2 people, a big idea, and a lot of work. What the Democrats fail to grasp is that when we target big companies, they're really hurting our small ones. If they keep punishing success, no one will ever want to pursue it anymore. Under the Democrat plan, American workers are our biggest loser. Economists project that a 31% corporate tax rate would cost some 500,000 jobs per year or more. The corporate tax rate proposed by the House Democrats is 8 percentage points higher than the current OECD average and 6 percentage points higher than the Communist China's rate currently. Since Republican tax reform, 12 other developed countries have reduced their corporate taxes because they know it is critical that they attract investment, jobs, and prosperity. Instead of surrendering our economic strength and jobs, let's build on Republican tax reform. The plan has proven track record of driving American competitiveness, economic growth, and higher federal tax revenues. Thank you, Mr. Rice, and I yield back.